Hey guys, so this is going to be problem 6, or assignment 6.1, problem 32. Keep doing that. Okay. Problem 32, it's I to the 20th power. We're going to simplify this. And when we're simplifying I to different powers, it's helpful to have the 4 that repeat written down. So we know that I is just I. That's I to the first power. I squared is -1. I cubed is -I, and I to the 4th is 1. And the way we can figure each of those out is I squared is equal to I times I. So the square root of -1 times the square root of -1 is just -1. And then I cubed is just I squared times I, and we already know I squared is -1. So -1 times I is -I. And then I to the 4th can be broken down into I squared times I squared, which is -1 times -1, which is +1. So if we didn't know those already, we could derive those on our own. But anytime we're dealing with problems like this, it's a good idea to have those written down. Alright, so what we're going to do for this one is, alright, this is I to the 20th. So we're going to take 20 and divide it by 4 and see if it divides evenly. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it does divide evenly. So since it's divisible by 4, I to the 20th is the same as I to the 4th. So I to the 20th is going to be 1. If it was not divisible by 4, then we'd have to go through a different process here. So if it's not divisible by 4, so let's say we did I to the 21st, well, 21 divided by 4 is 5.25. Alright, so if it's a 0.25 that's left on there, that means our remainder, so like if we were writing it like back in 3rd grade when we first learned division, we would write this as 5 remainder 1. And since our remainder is 1, it's going to be the same as I to the 1st power, which is I. So I to the 21st would be I. And if it was something like I to the 22nd, well, that's not divisible by 4 either. If we divide this by 4, we get 5.5, which if we're writing this like we were in 3rd grade, it would be 5 remainder 2. And this remainder 2 corresponds with I squared. So I to the 22nd is going to be the same as I squared, -1. So I to the 22nd is -1. And then let's say this was I to the 23rd. Well, 23 isn't divisible by 4 either. You would get 5.75. And writing this like 3rd graders, that would be 5 remainder 3. So this one's going to correspond with I cubed. And I cubed is -I, so I to the 23rd is going to be -I. Alright, so if you're doing the division here, remainder 1 is always going to be 0.25, remainder 2 is going to be 0.5, and remainder 3 is going to be 0.75, so that's what your decimal on the end is going to be for each of those. So that's how you can tell with each of these where it corresponds with our repeating I cycle here. Alright, but your answer for 6.1, number 32, is just going to be I to the 20th is equal to +1.